Right. So this is the first time, guys, that I'm directly on YouTube. In the past, I have always used another software called EVMux, and that allowed me to share my screen to connect with YouTube live. But now I'm directly on YouTube, and it looks like everything is working okay here. Just give a few minutes for some other people to come in, if anybody's going to come in. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because apparently I can use I have the chat onto the side here. So if you want to chat or ask questions as I go through some of the charts, then that's fine. And I'll be happy to answer your questions and glad to hear your comments. So just let me know if what you're trading, what you're looking at, and we'll do this together. Okay, that's the intention. And just remember, of course, this is not financial advice. I am not a CP. I'm not suggesting or recommending you take the same trades that I do. You can if you want. It's up to you to manage your own account and to use good risk management. And the wins and losses that I share with you might be different. They might vary from what you get. All right. There is no guarantee in Forex. There is no guarantee of wins or losses. So just be aware of that. There are inherent risks in trading. So what I'm looking at, I don't see anybody in the chat yet, but I'll go ahead and get started here. I love doing this live stream so much better than just doing my weekly analysis video where I have to edit everything. That's one advantage. And so I'm going to jump over to my own chart here. Now I'm looking at gold, and we have the 1 hour chart. This is the XAU USD. This is live. And now gold is trading at $28.99. A little bit of a story behind this. We just had some news come out about 45 minutes ago, and that was the ADP non-farm payrolls. And just remember that comes out on Wednesday 2 days before the actual non-farm payrolls. And what that is an adjustment, an approximation, not an adjustment, it's an approximation of what the non-farm payrolls will be on Friday when it's released. And so usually there's not too much of an impact, too much weight given to the ADP, which comes on Wednesday, 2 days before the non-farm payrolls. However, and we just saw the strangest reaction to this news. The news was that there's a big difference between the actual and the forecast. They forecast that there was going to be a certain number of jobs added to the U.S. economy, and it was much less than that. So that's bad news for the U.S. economy. That's not rocket science. But what is rocket science, I guess you could say, is if it's bad news for the U.S. economy, why is gold going down? Oh, these are crazy times. Let's just jump down here and look at the DXY, which is the US dollar index. And that's the US dollar compared with 6 major currencies. And it is going down like a sinking ship. Okay, well, this bad news that we see coming out just now, well, that makes sense, why the US dollar would go down, because it's bad news for the US economy. But what doesn't make sense, we go back up to gold, and gold is paired with the US dollar. So how can they both go down at the same time? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And this is the craziness that we have seen in the markets across the board, not just gold, but currency pairs as well, all various commodities. Really, the market has been shaken up. The market is facing a lot of uncertainty about what's coming in the future. And with the roller coaster policies that we're seeing coming out of the White House, it's got things topsy-turvy. It's a merry-go-round, a roller coaster. Anyway, that's me rambling on. What we're looking at is gold, and it has hit this 2,900. That's the yellow line you see there. Dropped just a little bit below that to the next kind of minor support at 28.84. I believe it got to 28.84. right about there. Yeah, 28. No, sorry, 28.94. 28.94. A minor support where we had resistance back here. So it's dropped down to that and now moving back up. So, if you wanted to take a trade, a small trade, going long right now, as you see, it's starting to recover. Whatever that was that caused that big drop, who knows? Maybe one of the big players pushed the wrong button. Uh, you know, who, who knows why sometimes the market does what it does. All we can do is, we go with what we see. That's all we can do. We're retail traders. We're the small fish in a big pond, and we just go with what we see. And what we see now is that gold has bounced off of this. This is a strong psychological number here, 2,900. It doesn't want to go below 2,900. We want to stay above that. And I believe the market sentiment is that we want to stay above 2,900. And you can see already, it made a bit of a drop below that, just very short, just went down there and dipped its toe in the water. Now it's recovering. Now we're already back to 2904, nearly 2905. So if you wanted to take a small long trade, and we're likely to get back up, although be aware there is more news coming. Okay, there is more news coming in the next 30 minutes or so. Let's see, the next on the hour, 10 p.m. Southeast Asia time. That's if you're in Thailand or Laos or Vietnam, wherever you might be. And so in the next 45 minutes or so, we do have news coming out. So that could be the catalyst for us to go to lower prices. Okay, so, or it could, break above this green trend line that we have here, and then even above our red trend line and even get to a new all-time high. Anything is possible. So with all this news coming out, it's manufacturing data, 4 different items coming out. Just check investing.com for the latest news release. If you're in my Telegram channel, I will be posting that when it comes out. But just be cautious during this next hour or so, because the news will definitely have an impact on the movement of gold and the currencies. All right, well, enough about gold. Okay, let's go down and look at, just quickly look at Bitcoin. Okay, this is interesting. All right, and Bitcoin is doing what it does. It's just doing what it does. All right, here we had the Trump pump and dump, where he made probably a few $1 billion on that by tweeting something on his social media, and then the next day it came back to where it was. Now we've hit this bottom here at 82,000, but yesterday during the U.S. session started to recover, went sideways this morning, and now it has broken above 90,000, and it's just staying around that 90,000 mark. We're likely to see it continue to escalate along this trade line. It did get up back to 96 just a few days ago, so maybe we'll get back up into that range. But remember, on Friday, they have a roundtable on crypto in the White House, and all of the big players will be there, the SEC and the crypto guys that the president has nominated to come up with this sovereign reserve fund for the U.S., and so there could be some very big news released on Friday, which could be a big catalyst for Bitcoin and other cryptos to start to go to higher prices. All right, one that I've been sharing with you the last few days is the pound New Zealand, and this one is working out well. I'm really happy with this one after this long bullish run. Okay, and I've been telling you that I'm waiting for it to break that trend line, which it has done. I could have actually got in that this trend line was a little bit different yesterday. I could have got in that yesterday during the close of the U.S. session, but that's quite late in Southeast Asia, which is fine because it pulled back up and formed a new bearish trend line here, which is fine. So I got in about 2 hours ago, and now it's about 3 hours ago, where you see that yellow arrow. I got in right there after it broke this trend line. And this is a long-term trend long-term trade that I'm holding. I expect to be able to hold this for several days, possibly several weeks. The pound New Zealand is a really good trending currency. Once it goes in a certain direction, it tends to go for a long time, whether that's bearish or bullish. So what I will do, if this should break below this next trend line that I have, which I call my B, this is the B trend line, or if it breaks below that one, then I will probably add to a winning trade. I'll take another trade on that, and then should expect to see it to continue down to fill this gap, to fill this gap. That's what a lot of people say, that, Forex doesn't like gaps in the market. So it could be that we're going to come down here and fill this gap, and then we'll see what happens from there. Now, where do you put the stop loss? I know some of you have been watching this, and you've also taken this short trade on the pound New Zealand. Good for you. I hope you should already be in profit now. If you want to put your stop loss, I put mine above this previous high, which we haven't seen for 9 years. So I put it just right up here. That's my stop loss right there. And then if you want to be a little bit more cautious, okay, you don't want to risk that much depending on your size of your account, etc. If you don't want to risk that much, just put your stop loss above this, what I call here, this red line, the safety line. All right, so if it breaks above that red line, it's likely that it's going to continue to higher prices. So you could put your stop loss right in here. Let's say that's 2.2652, 2.2652. But what I'm expecting to see is that we're going to continue down and possibly start to consolidate at some point, and we'll come over here and then retest this this bearish line, retest that, and then continue down to lower prices. At least that's the game plan, okay, for the pound New Zealand. All right, so I spent a lot of time on that because that's the trade I've been watching for and waiting for that one to unfold and develop. And now I'm really happy with that. I got into that trade hoping to hold it for some duration. And major U.S. pairs very quickly. The Euro US is doing extremely well because, again, as I've said all this week, because of the joining together of all the EU countries and their backing of Ukraine, increasing their defense budgets, et cetera, et cetera. It's all good news for the European economy. So the euro is doing extremely well. It's higher than it's been in the last 4 or 5 months. And we're going to likely to see continuing prices now to $1.07. $1.10 is probably not out of the question. Then the odd US is not doing too much, although it is gaining a little bit of strength today, but not because of the strength of the Australian dollar. It's because of the weakness of the US dollar. I just showed you that chart on the DXY. And the same with the New Zealand dollar. We want to see this New Zealand dollar keep going up. That means our pound New Zealand will keep going down. Okay. And the pound, not such good news coming out of the UK economy. So we've seen a little bit of a drop during today. So it's mostly kind of sideways. Started off pretty good during the London market, but now it's starting to drop off. So we'll see how that one unfolds. Then the USD CAD, well, just I don't know what you can do with the USD CAD. This is, the trade war. This is all about the trade war between the president of the U.S. and the, what's he called, the prime minister or premier or president of Canada, Trudeau. And so you see boom, and then back down, then boom again, then back down. And this is them just, a war of words is what they're having right now. And this is still not resolved. So who knows how this is going to unfold. But anyway, I am short on the USD CAD. And I think I got in at 144, and now it's trading at 143. And then the UJ, not doing too much. Okay, since the beginning of the week, it has been just down and up, bit of a roller coaster, as have been some of the currency pairs. Then we'll look again at the DXY. Oh, sad case for the US dollar. And I've been saying this for all this entire year, and nobody believes me. Nobody's listening to me. And I'm telling you, the US dollar is going to continue to decline. It's losing strength. All right, it's getting weaker. And so that is good news for all of the major pairs, and it should be good. It should be good news also for gold. But there's a lot of different factors influencing gold. So, but at least we're staying above 2,900. And will we go to 3,000? That's probably in the near future, not too far away. That we will go from 2,900 to 3,000. We've already been up to, what was it, 2,956, I believe, in the past. I can just zoom. 56 was our all-time high. We're not that far away from that. Okay, guys, that's it for me. I've shared enough here. It's been about 15 minutes. I hope I've covered everything that you trade. If you would like me to look at any other currency pairs or commodities, just feel free to leave a comment at this video and I will get back to you. And thanks again for being here. I will be here same time tomorrow. I'm starting to do live every day now, at least Monday to Friday. I don't think I'll be doing anything on the weekend, but at least Monday to Friday. You are in the world. Have a great session of trading, and I'll see you again next time.